Shalom everybody, Rabbi Edelstein here again with a short Torah thought sponsored by MEOR DC. MEORDC.com is our website. Check it out and learn about the programs we offer at GW and elsewhere around Washington DC. Well, I want to share with you an ethical teaching today, a very famous one. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we're in the middle of a period of time, the period between Passover and Shavuos, during which we're supposed to focus more intensely on character development, on elevating our character traits. And that's because we are counting the days until Shavuos. Shavuos is the reliving of Kabbalas Torah, of getting the Torah. And as our rabbis tell us, the preparation that our ancestors went through to get the Torah and that we need to go through every year as we relive that experience is primarily a preparation of character refinement. And there are many reasons for that. One being that the Torah was given by God to the Jewish people as a klal, as a unit, and petty jealousy and hatred and those divisions that divide us from our fellow Jew and our fellow man have to be eliminated in order for the Torah to be given to us, or every year to be reaccepted deep within us in our hearts and souls. So this period of time is a time of working on character refinement and focusing on ethical teachings in our tradition. Particularly, there's a custom to study Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, which is a book of Mishnah, of the oral law, exclusively dedicated to ethical guidance and statements of the sages that refer to perfecting our character traits and our ways of dealing with each other. So one of the most famous teachings in Pirkei Avos is the second teaching in the first chapter. Shimon HaTzadik, Simon the Righteous, was the last of the remaining members of the Great Assembly, a very distinguished body of sages that made many rabbinic laws at the beginning of the Second Temple period. And Shimon HaTzadik said, Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omeid, on three things the world stands, Al HaTorah, V'al HaAvodah, V'al Gemilus Chasadim. On Torah, on service, meaning service of God, and on acts of loving kindness. Three things on which the world stands: the Torah, meaning the study of the Torah, the service of God, and acts of kindness that we do to each other, to our fellow man. And there are many beautiful commentaries about what does it mean on these things the world stands. Why didn't Shimon HaTzadik just say, here are three, important activities to engage in? Many of the commentaries explain these are the three reasons for which God made the world. Meaning, when God created heaven and earth, three main purposes he had that he wanted to achieve, that mankind created in his image we would perfect ourselves and perfect the world by means of these three pathways: the pathway of Torah study, of serving God, and of acts of loving kindness. The world stands on them, meaning the world was created specifically for these three endeavors and pathways. Our rabbis also tell us that every individual person is a world. So I like to think of this teaching as, what are the three main foundations of my own spiritual world and spiritual connection? They are Torah study, which elevates the brain, or mind, I should say. Service of God, particularly prayer, which the Torah refers to itself as service of the heart. Serving God through prayer elevates our emotional life and perfects our emotional connection to God. Torah gives us the intellectual framework to understand our lives. Prayer is the deepening of our emotional connection to our Creator. And doing acts of kindness for our fellow man perfects our physical being in this world. Our body is sanctified through the good deeds we do to our fellow man. So mind, heart, and body all need to be sanctified. And this is a teaching for our whole lives, the Rabbi Shimon says. But at this time, as we prepare for Shavuos, we want to purify the vessel in which the Torah can rest, the wisdom of the Torah can rest. That vessel is our personality. There's no better way to perfect our personality than to think all the time, am I studying my Torah a little bit a day, a little bit a week to elevate my mind? Am I connecting to God and serving Him with my heart, with my prayer connection? And am I doing kindness and good for my fellow man? That's the way to prepare for Kabbalas Torah, for receiving the Torah.